Good morning everyone. Today we are going to perform the experiment determination of rate constant and order of reaction between potassium persulfate and potassium iodide. Required chemicals are starch powder, sodium thiosulfate, potassium iodide, potassium persulfate, and required apparatus are burette stand, pipette, reagent bottle, volumetric flask, conical flask, beaker, measuring cylinder, thermostat, and ice cool water, and weighing machine. Then weight about 3.37 gram of potassium persulfate for making a 0.05 normality of potassium persulfate solution. Then transfer to the 250 ml of volumetric flask and make up to the mark with distilled water. And then weight about 2.07 gram of potassium iodide for making a 0.05 normality of potassium iodide solution. And transfer to the 250 ml of volumetric flask and then weight about 0.27 gram of sodium thiosulfate for making a 0.004 normality of sodium thiosulfate solution. Then transfer to the 250 ml of volumetric flask and make up with distilled water up to the mark. Prepared solutions are 0.05 normality potassium iodide, 0.05 normality potassium persulfate, 0.004 normality sodium thiosulfate, and then take 0.05 normality potassium persulfate in a beaker and pipette out 20 ml of potassium persulfate solution and then transfer to the reagent bottle. And then add 60 ml of distilled water to the same reagent bottle. Then place the reagent bottle in the thermostat maintaining at 25 degrees Celsius. Then take 100 ml of potassium iodide solution in another reagent bottle and then place it in the same thermostat maintaining at 25 degrees Celsius for attaining the same equilibrium temperature. And then pipette out 20 ml of potassium iodide solution transfer to the potassium persulfate and then mix the solution and wait for 5 minutes and then take sodium thiosulfate solution in the burette for titration purpose and take up to the 0 mark. Take a 10 ml of a mixed solution into the 250 ml of conical flask for titration purpose and then add ice cold water and then add 2 to 3 drops of starch indicator. After adding the starch indicator, the solution turns to dark blue color and then titrate against sodium thiosulfate up to the solution turns to endpoint colorless. We add the endpoint colorless solution and write down the burette reading and then take again 10 ml of solution into the conical flask for second reading and then add ice cold water and then add 2 to 3 drops of starch indicator. After adding the starch indicator, the solution turns to dark blue color. Titrate against sodium thiosulfate solution We got a colorless endpoint and write down the burette reading and continue the same procedure for 15, 20, 25, 30 time interval difference. This is the calculation part and these are the burette readings with respect to their time intervals. Before going to calculation, we have to find out the A value by N1 V1 equal to N2 V2 equation. 0.05 normality is the potassium persulfate and 20 ml is the volume of potassium persulfate N2 as it is, and 80 is the volume of water plus potassium persulfate 20 ml. Total is 80 ml. After that, normality of this solution is 0.0125 normality, and then find out the mixed solution normality N1 V1 equal to N2 V2. 0.0125 normality of the above solution and 80 is the volume of above solution. N2 is as it is, and 100 ml volume is the above solution 80 ml, and we added potassium iodide 20 ml, total 100 ml. By solving this calculation, N2 is equal to 0.01 normality of mixed solution. And finding the A value, N1 V1 equal to N2 V2. N1 is the 0.01 normality and 10 is the volume of solution we have to taken for the titration purpose, and 0.004 normality is the sodium thiosulfate normality and V2 as it is. And by solving this calculation, V2 is equal to A equal to 25 ml. And the order of reaction is the second order reaction. And these are the graphs.